All right, I got another lesson for you. And this one we're going to do a little emotional inventory. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the devil, he controls you with negative emotions. And so as long as you're holding on to those negative emotions, then they're going to control you. And they're going to keep you captive. They're not going to let you have a beautiful life. That's why they're there. That's why he puts them there, you know what I mean? And the thing is that we need to be able to start to recognize them. Recognize how much they're in control so that we can pluck them. And we're going to talk about how we pluck them in a minute, because there's a little process I'm going to give you to be able to help pluck those weeds out of your garden. And right now we're going to talk about the garden of your mind. You know, we've talked about the garden of your people and your environment, your circle. But today we're going to talk about something far more important. What happens between your two ears. And so if you get a piece of paper handy and follow along with me, I think you're going to do well. This is a pretty easy thing to do. But you do have to take the moments and the time to invest in yourself. Give yourself that love, kindness, and caring to do this for yourself. Do I want to say that again? Yes. Give yourself the love, kindness, caring, and the respect to do this for yourself. All right, so here we go. Easy little chart. Okay, I like to make things simple. If we make things simple, they're so much easier to deal with. And the truth is, lies are what's complicated. The truth is always simple. So here we got emotions, right? And I put a positive. This is going to be positive emotions in this category. And this is going to be the negative emotions. Okay, and then we've also got how often. Is it often? Is it just sometimes we feel this emotion? Or is it kind of rare that we ever feel that emotion? And so what I would recommend you do before you do this chart is take a piece of paper and write down the emotions that you feel most often. Whether they be positive or negative, just start writing them down. I feel this pretty often. I feel sad, I feel excited, I feel enthusiastic, I feel anxiety, whatever it may be. I feel poor, I feel rich, I feel happy, I feel good, whatever it is, just write them down. They come out of you. This is about what's between your two ears, remember? Okay, so just write down your list. And then after you get your list, make this chart. Okay, and when you make this chart, then just take your list and start putting them in here. How often do I feel that? And is it positive or negative? I think you can figure out how to figure out what's positive and a negative emotion. And if you wonder, there's a chart I have that says, you know, this is ego love and this is unconditional love. And you can use that because ego love is all the negative emotions. It feeds fear and worry, concern, anxiety, all those. So you could look at that list and you could just start plugging them in here. How often do you feel those things? Now, once you have a view of what your emotional state looks like on a regular basis, you can start to say, I want to make a change. And you can start to take these negative emotions and transmute them and move them into this category of positive emotions. And the more emotions you have here and the less you have here, the freer you will become. And this is something only you can do for yourself. So how do you take these negative emotions and transmute them? Move these things way down here into the rare, and move the positive emotions up here into the often. How do you do that? It's not an overnight process. But it's easily done. First thing is to recognize where you're at and then know where you want to go. So take your little chart and you say, you know what, this negative emotion really has a lot of negative impact in my life. I'm going to work on that one first. You eat a whale one bite at a time. And so how are we going to bite this whale? Let's talk about it. First thing you're going to do is you're going to realize every negative emotion is either environmentally influenced or it's previous environmentally influenced. And so what is the root of that negative emotion, whatever it may be? Ask yourself, what is the root of this? Why do I feel this emotion? What is the triggers in my current environment that make me feel this? What is it that I do in my head when I start to feel this? What questions do I ask myself? And what things do I visualize? How do I make this rabbit hole suck me into this negative emotion? And so slowly recognize the pattern, because there is one. And as you recognize the pattern, you can circumvent the pattern earlier and earlier in the process. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up with a positive question. And so let's say that you're feeling anxiety. We know that anxiety is the misinterpretation of enthusiasm. So we're going to transfer that negative emotion of anxiety that we're feeling often, and we're going to turn it into enthusiasm. So how are we going to do that? We're going to apply the process. We're going to recognize the patterns that we have when we start to go into anxiety, and we're going to circumvent it earlier and earlier and earlier in that cycle. And we're going to ask ourselves, why am I so excited about this? Now, if you're in anxiety and you ask yourself, why am I so excited about this? Do you see the gear shift? And figure it out. Figure out why you're actually excited instead of letting yourself misinterpret that into a negative emotion called anxiety that gives you only regret. You know what I mean? Ask yourself, why am I so excited about this? What is going to be so great? Start asking yourself those questions and turn your negative boat around. And pick each one of those and do that. Now, you also may have some that are, in your baggage, not in your current environment. If they're in your baggage, let's talk about how you get rid of those. First of all, you need to recognize the baggage. And there's going to be some unforgiveness there that you're holding on to. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in your baggage, would it? And so you're going to look back and you're going to think through those times that you carry in your baggage. And you're going to think about how they made you stronger. Think about how they gave you better perspective. Think about how they gave you empathy. Think about the gifts that they gave you and how they've made you the beautiful person that you are. So that you can be grateful for those gifts. Everything in your life is a gift, and as soon as you recognize that, then you can start to reconcile that. And so then forgive everyone, including yourself. And take that out of your baggage. You don't need to carry that with you anymore. And do this inventory every now and then, just so that you know where you're at, because you're going to have progress, and you want to be able to see your progress, don't you? So that's the little quick lesson today, is take a look. How much does the devil... Because I'm going to tell you what, this is the devil right here. Right here. Yep. We'll give him a little pointy nose and beady eyes. That's the devil. So how much do you let this guy control you between your two ears? Let's start breaking the chains. Break these chains with the power of our Heavenly Father. With the power of the choice He gave you. With the strength that you have inside that you only have yet to acknowledge and give yourself. When you give yourself love, kindness, caring, and respect first, and you stand on that rock as you give it to other people, and don't let them push you off of it. Welcome to your beautiful life.